That was very abrupt. But anyway, hello, welcome to Improv Provocateur with me, Alex Leam. This is the final live show of today's Who at Hoylake Mind Warp. So we still have Can't Polish Your Time Lord coming up, but this is the Doctor Who special themed improv show. So can you please welcome our guests, John Cooper, Alan Lear, Mitch. How's the Wi-Fi doing? You okay now?
Better than
much better. Yeah. And our special guest, Mike McShane. Hello, Mike.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hello there. We also have I think possibly we've got JH coming in. Hello, JH. Who are you? Oh no, JH is gone. No idea who JH was.
We had a Dan earlier on. Who was that?
Yeah, that's the point. There's Dan with no sound on who's dialed in. Who are you, Dan? No idea who Dan is. In fact, that could be the first game. Who is Dan? Hello.
Another Dan.
Dan with no, I have no idea what's going on with Dan.
Dan
I don't know about anybody else.
Wi-Fi than me.
Is he just a fan that's got in? Do you think?
He might have the wrong link. Yeah, he might have the backstage link.
Yeah,
the front stage link.
That's true because we were expecting Will Barton as well, who agreed to do this. But unfortunately, we're doing 3 live shows back to back. I completely forgot until 2 minutes before we came on air that I was supposed to send in the link. So if we do get Will Barton, that would be great. If not,
it feels like the Edinburgh Fringe.
It's the 3rd week of Edinburgh. This feels like the 3rd week of Edinburgh.
A few days of Edinburgh.
The wheels are falling off. We're tired and broken, but we've still got to get on and do a show.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, though, can we just talk about John's Cyberman helmet?
Oh, it's rather magnificent. Put it back on. There you go.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has the whole thing. I wore it for an improvathon a few years ago, and there's even a bit at the front where you put like a mobile phone in there, and then you put a little app on which like detects sound waves. So when I talk in a Cyberman voice, you see all the little waves go up and down like that.
That's cool.
I went up to a little kid and said, "I'll convert you," and they actually screamed and ran away to the dad, who had to come and have a word with us because I was being a bit creepy.
Did you have the cloth face on and everything?
Hey,
you had the cloth face on. Did you have the cloth face?
I didn't have the face on, no. So it was just me. It was just the kid didn't have sufficient reference for Cybermen, but the father did. So he came up. He was laughing. He was brilliant. He said, "Yeah, you can convert me, daughter. That's fine." And she was like, "No, Dad, it's scary."
Awesome.
All I can think is they would have killed for that get-up when they were designing Chameleon.
That's true. That is true. That's very true. Should we crack on then with our first game? We're going to be very freewheeling tonight, which is a nice way of saying ran out of time. But
is John Cooper like the British hat merchant for the UK? You've got every media hat character in the world. Exactly.
It's sponsored by the hat.
If you go to Fez in Morocco, if you're a white person and you're walking through there and they think you're British and they're selling Fezzes, they'll put it on and go, and they'll shoot their hands up.
Fantastic. So tonight, for everyone that is watching, we will be asking for your suggestions. So put any suggestions that we ask in the comments. But just to get things warmed up for the first game, we will do our own sort of like internal suggestions. We'll be playing out a scene from Doctor Who, but we'll be doing the alphabet game. So as we go round, as you all do your certain lines, we will be making our way through the alphabet. So say, for example, if the scene starts with John, he'll have to start with saying a sentence that begins with the letter A, B, C, D, and then back. So this is for all 4 of you. So we need a suggestion for
Do we need an order to go in?
We'll go clockwise. So John, Alan, Mitch, Mike. So John, seeing as you've got the fez on, you'll be the doctor. Alan can be the doctor's assistant, but should we give a specific? Should we have a suggestion of who you're going to be?
How about Rory?
Yeah, all right. Alan is Rory.
If he's being Matt, we should be Rory.
So Mitch and Mike, you two will be the bad guys in this, but who will Mitch and Mike be?
Haters gonna hate, man. Go ahead.
We've both got beards, so we could both be the master if you wanted to be.
X. Okay, you're both the master. All right.
Well, two
right.
different masters. There's been lots of us.
Two masters up against John, who's the Doctor, and Alan, who's Rory. Should we pick a random part in the alphabet to start from? Sort of halfway through, and then circle round. Let's start with J. Okay. So J, John, starting with you.
Jiminy crikey, it's the Daleks. We must run away.
Killed me off already, I'm afraid.
Listen to me. I am in control of the Daleks. They will obey me, as will you.
Many of us are here. Many of the masters have come to take you over.
No!
Oh, good, I'm alive again.
Pathetic, Doctor! Do you think you can resist two masters?
It's queer pitch, but let's try it.
Sweet, I'm glad you've come up with a plan because I didn't have one.
Oh, we missed R.
Really sweet, I'm glad you came up with a plan because I didn't have one.
Simultaneous masters? This is the worst of all possible worlds.
Two masters indeed, sir! And what are you going to do about it?
Ugly for the double. What are you going to do about it?
Victory will be ours, even if we have to claw it through our dead fingers.
Well, that's me dead again.
Exceedingly predictable that he will be back in due course.
Yes, he'll regenerate quite quickly. I know that.
Zyglots, up in the air, the flying one. A niche reference from Doctor Who magazine, number 746.
Very, very meta, the Doctor referencing the magazine. Sorry, Alan, go on.
About time somebody referenced that magazine. I was beginning to wonder if I was the only one who'd read it.
Beloved magazines notwithstanding, we must now discuss our evil plot.
Christ, on a launch mission. We're deep in the kimchi here.
Deep in the douchey here, yes. I run again. It's the best policy.
Eventually, Doctor, the masters will turn on each other. All we have to do is string them along.
Flee if you want. You can never escape us.
Gallifrey will kick your ass.
I am a Time Lord, and I will sort all of this out in good time.
Excellent. And we've circled back around to the end of the alphabet. Scene. Nice. I've got to say, bonus points, Mitch, for not going for the obvious one for F. Pointed out by Kitty, F for Fez, which is good.
Nailed it.
I nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Our next game is called Three-Headed Expert. So in this game, Alan is going to be. Hate to interrupt, but we do have an incoming Will Barton. He's a circle at the moment. So actually, he may sit this one out. Alan, so you're going to be chairing a panel at a Doctor Who convention. And you're going to be talking to a singular Doctor Who expert who happens to have three heads. The three heads being Mike, John, and Mitch. And when they are giving your answers, they can only talk singular word answers and go through all three of them in a circle. So we'll start with Mike, then John, then Mitch. Everyone clear? Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So what particular aspect of Doctor Who would you say that you're experts of? Just as we know which.
The missing episodes.
I like it. Okay. So you're experts on the missing episodes, and Alan is here to interview you. So Alan, away you go.
Hello and welcome to Talking Doctor Who with the British Film Institute. I'm here today with Professor John Michael Stradivarius of the National Institute of Wrong. Dr. Stradivarius, how many episodes are missing?
I
wouldn't
even
begin
to
count
how
many
episodes
are
missing.
But
if
One,
is
found,
two,
B
complete,
then
yes.
I
would
Recommend
watching,
it
binge
watching
all
of
it
because
all
of
it
is
particularly
interesting.
Thank you very much, Professor. And these missing episodes, could you tell us a little bit about why they went missing in the first place?
because
they
Were
shite.
I see. So would you, in that sense, say that the quest to recover the missing episodes is a fruitless one?
No,
not
unless
you
think
that
shite
is
interesting.
Okay, thank you, Professor. That makes it all very clear to me. I've got one more question I'd like to ask on the subject of the missing episodes and how they are shite, and that is, why is anybody paying you to be an expert in these shite missing episodes?
prison
is
Very
expensive.
and
I
Have
a
small
boyfriend.
who
isn't
Very
particularly
about
taste.
hmm
true.
I see. So, Professor, that only leaves me to ask one following question. Are you paying for this meal, or am I?
I
like
To
eat.
Dutch
when
I
in
this.
particular
restaurant
So
you
will
pay
because
I
need
it
badly.
Thank you very much, Professor. And who was your doctor?
my
Dr.
Was
Dr.
Smith.
my
Podiatrist.
Excellent. And scene. Nice work, gents. Fantastic stuff. That went in all sorts of. That's not actually not the worst panel that's happened today either. That was amazing. So, gents, please welcome onto the screen Mr. Will Barton. Hello, Will.
Sorry. What?
Hello, Will.
Oh,
Is
sorry,
he
mate.
still in bed?
He's still in bed.
Sorry.
Hey, good morning, Will.
What's happening? Hi. Hi, guys.
Morning. This is the world's
Morning.
weirdest alarm clock. We're waking you up with some improv.
What a great view, Will. Are you crowning yet?
Bloody hell. Okay. Hi. Oh, God. Okay. Morning. Let's do it.
Unseen.
Cannot be unseen.
No, exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. Our next
Right.
game. Now that I know I can switch them around, is for our bottom panel there. So our next game is for Will, Mike, and Alan, and it's called Pre-Written Lines. So Will, Mike, and Alan are three Doctor Who fans who are sitting down to watch a brand new episode, and they are discussing They are discussing the cliffhanger from last week. They're discussing what they're looking forward to in this coming episode. As they discuss their excitement, they have to work in some pre-written lines that I'm going to flash up on screen. And all of these lines, specs on, and all of these lines come from a guest publication, This Week's Offers at Aldi.
Cool.
So as you're talking, you have to then work in the lines, which will go something along those lines. Okay. So away you go, gentlemen. You're settling down to watch the episode.
Wow.
I can't wait to shit all over this on Twitter.
I'm right with you on that one. I mean, last week's episode, Sauna of the Daleks, wasn't up to snuff, I'd say.
It was amazing when they take them up to that planet and get that giblet that's included for the perfect gravy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
it's perfect. It turns out if you boil a Dalek in a sauna, you get the perfect gravy where the blob used to be. And it's part
Exactly.
deboned for easy carving, much like my wife.
Yes.
Well, of course, it's fascinating, the new effects now. I mean, now they've moved into CGI. They can practically do anything. In fact, that 2-meter-long pig in the blanket, the Lord of Greg's, was a fantastic.
That's no way to talk about Will.
I know. Well, it's the master though that really scares me, because when the master comes up to get you with those giblets, you then get turned into this sort of great thing with earthy vegan food that absolutely poisons you. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, much like all meat-free burgers will do, yes.
That was almost as frightening as the enormous Crank's bean casserole from the 1970s episode.
Oh my God! Yeah, the star of Doctor Who stuffing portions of Frankenbean casserole down his mouth, frantically trying to dig Perry out from that haricot landslide she was landed in.
Covered in sage, redolent but terrifying.
Oh.
Extraordinary. I mean, it's just terrifying. But of course, it was only frightening when we were kids, really watching that. And, I used to watch it behind the sofa with my mini-loaded Yorkshires. And that was great, because I'm from Yorkshire, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great place, actually. And it's, it was... do you remember those early Yorkshire episodes of Doctor Who?
The Day of Gravy, episode 7 from chapter 5, yes. It was tender, juicy, and I think a lot of scripting was sustainably sourced from another script. Yes,
that's right. I mean, Terry Nation sustainably sourced all his Dalek stories from his first Dalek story, so there was a lot of recycling. It was a very early green show. That.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, it was ahead of its time in that way, wasn't it? Really, it was. I mean, a lot of people said that Doctor Who at that time was. A winner. It actually won. Its second series won Good Housekeeping Food Awards of 2020. But that wasn't the second series, but it was. It felt like it was the second series.
I mean, you've said all there is to say there.
I know. Well,
don't even understand.
Have you got your phones to start denigrating the show? I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
And see. Excellent. Thanks, gents. Lovely work. There was me scrolling, looking for some more lines, and then it took me far too long to process that was it. So sorry for leaving you hanging there. Our next game.
Oh, did you see what Erica just posted?
Let's have a look. Comments. Will, any room in that bed?
Well,
Erica, come on. I know you loved me as Midge all those years ago in Doctor Who, but I'm not as bad a boy as that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's Erica, awkward questions just passed now. At ease. Our next game is called Change Your Tune, one of Alan's favourites. So this is a stand-up challenge. In a minute, I'll ask for a volunteer from the Moonstar panel. A willing volunteer. Alan's gone already. They will then They will then have to come up with a stand-up comedy routine on the topic of something from Doctor Who. When they start, they have to be all positive and loving the topic and all in favour of it until they hear the sound of me saying delete. I'm saying that just because I haven't had time to prepare the sound work. Then they have to instantly change the topic of what they're talking about and being down on it and hating it. They then have to flick flack every time that they hear the sound delete. So any willing volunteers for this?
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to push you.
All
Mitch,
right.
Mitch,
I'll do it.
Mitch has been willing. Mitch has been willing.
Yeah.
Neil Monroe.
Brilliant.
Wait, is this now a dating show? Any show where Erica is commenting, Neil, becomes a dating show eventually. So Mitch has his guitar ready.
What's the topic?
What's the topic? What is he doing a routine about? Any suggestions? Just seeing the comments from earlier, Kitty was enjoying your Rory's continuous dying. She enjoyed that. And Chameleon would have been much scarier if he was made from cardboard. That's very true. A topic suggestion, please.
Have I got a topic
Yeah.
yet?
Gentlemen, a suggestion for a topic for Mitch.
Well, we've just had Chameleon. What about the monsters? There must be
All right.
plenty of stuff you can.
Monsters.
Okay, the monsters.
Okay.
So you will start when I
All right.
full screen you. Every time you hear me say delete, you've got to change. Are you ready, Mitch?
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, please, for Mitch.
Way back in '63, they said they didn't want to be too many BEMs. That stood for Bug-Eyed Monsters, but within a couple of months of the show beginning, the Daleks became the biggest sensation in the country, and it became apparent that the future of Doctor Who was in the monsters. It was all about the monsters. Doctor Who's about the monsters. It's all about the monsters. You can have historicals, you can have the sort of semi-factual ones, and you can have the ones set in modern day Earth to give the audience an entry point, but it's all about the monsters. Doctor Who's about the monsters.
Delete.
Doctor Who is all about the monsters that are generally really not that convincing. They can often be seen where the zips go up the back, and isn't it a strange coincidence how they are all more or less people-shaped? I mean, even the Daleks, while they are not in any way anthropomorphic, are still by a happy happenstance more or less exactly the right size for a guy on an office chair to be stashed inside and scoot about. And don't even start me on the 80s monsters where they'd spend all the money on the amazing headpieces, and from the neck down they were just guys in leotards.
Delete.
Doctor Who is all about the monsters. That's what the kids get into. Let's face it, it's not the stories. Doctor Who has always been all about the monsters. We would never have had the show of Dad if it weren't for the ability for kids in the playground to walk around with their arms stretched out, shouting the word exterminate, blissfully unaware of its genocidal connotations, which is actually slightly awkward when you remember how recent the war was at the time.
Delete.
Let's not dwell on that, because the problem is that the monsters are treated as interchangeable. Let's face it, for most of the series they'd only be put in for the purposes of nostalgia and fan service. It was never about delving into the individual idiosyncrasies of the aliens in question. For example, you could take the two doctors and take the Sontarans out, and replace them with the Cybermen or the Daleks or any other aliens. It doesn't matter because they're not there to be in any way Sontaran-ish. They're just a bunch of alien bad guys to give the fans a little twinge of nostalgia. And that is the problem with most of 80s Doctor Who, if I'm honest. A lot of it was fan service, which is probably a major reason that it got cancelled at the end of the 80s, because they totally lost touch with the wider audience. And that was never gonna help it last.
And scene, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for me. That was amazing.
Hell yes.
Thank you.
A slightly sadistic part of me was saying, how long can he keep this up? So, but thankfully I'm quite nice, mate. So I didn't stoop that low. So on to our next game, which is called Question Quirks. So this is a twist on party quirks, but it suits the Doctor Who convention. So I'm going to come to each of you in turn. Mitch has just blacked out. Hopefully he will. Oh, he's back. Well, here's how it's going to go. I'm going to come to each of you in turn. I'm going to get everyone else to cover their eyes while I give you a quirk or a persona, all Doctor Who related. You then have to answer the question I then give you, taking on that persona, and everyone else has to guess who or what you are trying to be. Everyone clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Mike, we're going to do you first.
Oh, good, because my death will be legendary. Good.
We need to cover our eyes, yeah?
Yeah, everyone but Mike, cover your eyes. So, Mike, this is your quirk or persona. Yeah. Okay. Everyone cover your eyes. So, Mike, what do you make of the recent series?
I think it's an absolute mess. I wouldn't have anything to do with it. Not in my day would have something like that. I mean, it's clever enough, but I did like Tennant's work, though. It was quite good, yes. I liked his Hamlet.
Excellent. Excellent. So is Shakespeare a draw for you?
Well, I do enjoy Shakespeare, and I've done quite a bit of theater, early days in the regionals, and now I'm here. And of course, the role that I took on, well, it took Lloyd a lot of my time, but it gave me a lot of opportunity. And I got to work and insult quite a few people.
Marvelous.
I know, I sound peremptory, but that was the character's trait. It was quite peremptory, and also with everything, and the oh God, yes.
Wonderful. Before we wrap up and get people to guess who or what you are trying to be.
My scarf. Where's my scarf at?
Okay. So with that, anyone would like to take a guess who Mike was?
Toulouse-Lautrec.
Ian Levine.
No, I can think what you think that, John.
Yes,
Ian
it
Levine.
is.
Yeah, that famous Doctor Who character, Toulouse-Lautrec. Yeah. Anyone else?
Not Ian Levine?
No, it's not Ian Levine. Not Ian Levine.
Oh, Ian Levine. Yeah, I remember seeing about him. Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking English accent.
He was a nutcase. Sorry, he's not watching, is he?
Major clue at the end.
You could
The big star, Toulouse-Lautrec. Tom Baker.
Hey,
yes.
Oh, it's good. Oh,
Yes.
it seemed too clear. Oh, Tom Baker. It's easier than I thought this game. That's good. Okay, Tom Baker.
Good. Excellent. Alan is up next. So everyone but Alan, please cover your eyes. Excellent. So Alan, this is your quirk or persona. Excellent. Uncover your eyes, everybody. So, Alan, what do you find appealing about the Doctor Who fandom?
Well, I mean, the appealing thing about them is that they do give me money, but they will insist on following me around. And I'm a serious professional. And you,
This is it.
get off my daughter, you Scottish git!
Is this Ian Levine?
No.
Sorry. I need a moment. I think I've cracked a rib.
That's brilliant.
Again, a major clue at the end as to who he was. Anyone like to shout who they thought Alan was?
The hat is a major giveaway.
Well, it nicely neat. It ties in.
Georgia Moffat's dad.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. You were being the great Pete. You were being Peter Davison.
Alan was being Peter Davidson.
Right.
Peter Davidson.
Oh, heavy line. Like it's just been running.
Excellent. Excellent. Right, Mitch. Mitch, you're up next. That's everyone but Mitch, please. Yeah, please cover your eyes. There you go. Okay. Right, everyone uncover your eyes. So Mitch, what do you find most appealing about the classic series? Where is he? No, hang on, no.
Is he someone who's recently died?
A BBC camera operator on ketamine.
Big clue for this one, Mike. They were in your episode.
Weeping Angels.
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
He only moved when I wasn't looking at him.
That was now I get it now, but that was just enough to throw my ass off, dude. Well done.
Our next one is for Will. So everyone but Will, please cover your eyes. Yeah. With everyone covering their eyes, I thought that would be really meta for the Weeping Angels when we did that. Yeah. So Will, this is you.
God. Okay. Oh, I need some information. I'm so unknowledgeable about it. But okay, I know the name. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right then. Everyone cover your eyes.
Go and ask me something. I'll see if I know anything about this person. I know what they look like.
Lovely. Is it Michael Grade?
It's not.
Okay, so Will.
Yes.
Why were you so late today?
Oh, darling. No, I mean, these Zoom things are different to actually going to a place. When you go to a place, it's much easier because you leave the house, you get on the bus, you go on the tube, and you arrive at the time. But because it was on Zoom, I didn't know where I was supposed to be at the right time. So I got stuck with a post box and I couldn't post the letter. And so I couldn't get in, darling.
Matthew Waterhouse.
No, it was not Matthew Waterhouse. Alan, I think, had a pang of recognition.
Yeah, I think that may have been Katie Manning and her actual excuse for being late earlier today.
That is it. Yes.
Yes, that was a powerhouse performance as Katie Manning.
Thank you very much. That is why she was late. That's the only thing I knew about her, apart from I've met her. Yeah, but she was late because she was having trouble with a postbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
Lovely,
John,
lovely.
Finally, on to John. I've just having so everyone cover your eyes except for John. Lovely. I'm guessing Mitch has covered his eyes because he's now frozen. We'll take that. He's frozen. He's taken the Weeping Angel things a bit too far. Okay, John. So everyone uncover your eyes. So John, what would you say was your biggest achievement of the 80s?
Well, I think my biggest achievement of the 80s was employing Larry Grayson on the Generation game. He was absolutely superb.
Fantastic. Okay.
The Saturday evening schedules were an absolute dive until I came along and put on things like Odd Man Out and Noel's House Party, which was an institution, despite the fact that I didn't like Mr. Blobby.
Okay. Was there more things on the BBC at the time that you didn't like?
No, there was nothing else on the telly at all other than anything that I commissioned myself.
Okay.
Before I went to Channel 4, but then I did come back to the modern series, and at some point I said, actually, yes, I get it now, but by that point the damage was done that I'd inflicted.
Alan,
Alan Yentob being guest there. You're in the right ballpark. You're in the right ballpark. Not Alan Yentob.
It is Michael Gray. We've had Michael Gray.
It is
That's what the pirate has. But...
It is, yes.
I particularly enjoyed...
not Lou Gray, Michael Gray. Yeah.
It was Michael Gray, indeed. Which
was he part of the pirate radio scene? Is that where the pirate hat went on? Oh, thanks, mate. Okay.
That was just a nice. And how many more hats do you have, John? Out of interest, are you just going to keep us in suspense?
Well, I couldn't find the filters button, so I had to just improvise.
Fair enough.
Old school.
John Griggs has joined us.
Hey,
hello, John.
Hey.
Hello, John. So John.
Yes.
Have you done much improv, or shall I inflict the most difficult game on you now?
I did a bit of improv when I did theatre at university, so it's been about 25 years since I last stretched those muscles. But if you want to chuck something at me, I'll be willing to make an idiot of myself.
John,
to be fair, that was a beautiful moment of yes and Paul, where he called you John and you rolled with it anyway.
Fantastic. Well, what we'll do then, this has popped into my mind because Mike, on the conversation we had earlier, you mentioned this game, and I think we should do it now of translating. So this will be for Paul Griggs and Mike McShane. Mike will be the translator, translating what Paul is saying, because the TARDIS circuits are down. We can't understand his alien language. Paul is one of the Sycorax, and he is wanting to give a message to all of humanity. Mike will translate for us. Okay. So, Sycorax leader, whenever you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Space International Forum. I'm Dr. Pel Montego, and today we have one of the greatest moments in diplomatic behavior. A Sycorax has landed here and is ready to give a message to humanity. May I welcome... Do you guys take petrol coupons? Because I've got a few and I'm out of gas. But nonetheless, I am happy to be here. Can I get a glass of blood? No ice. People of the various universes that we know and have tracked, this is my message. Yes, it's a long one, but if you'll stay with me, you'll find that I bring good tidings. It may involve the destruction of your complete culture on a scale of a large alien asteroid making the size of Michigan, crashing into the earth and creating a vacuum form, sucking you all to a pit of fire. But I'll survive. That's the good news. But it's getting kind of hot in here, and that's my imitation of Rodney Dangerfield. I thought I'd lighten things up for a second.
And a final message for humanity, Sycorax leader.
I'm glad that these things have happened. I had come to destroy the Earth because of the mutant virus, which was infecting parts of your earthly planet. But apparently in the United States, they voted the motherfucker out.
And scene. Paul and Mike Michelle, ladies and gentlemen, and Alan is back in wearing a light shade. Why not?
Yeah.
Why?
Unlike
why
John,
the
I don't
hell?
have a handy milliner in my back pocket, so I've had to improvise.
So we come on to our final game, which is called Questions Only. So we have a nice even number of people here to play Questions Only, which is good. John's got his Questions Only hat on, which is nice. So the middle bit where John and Paul is. So this will be when you're in that zone where John and Paul is. When I move you into that zone, that means you'll be asking the questions. I will move you out of that zone if you say anything other than a question. Okay. So we will go for Will, Paul, and Alan on one team, John, Mitch, and Mike on the other. So we need a situation where you're we'll say that Paul, your side, you're a comic book store, and John's side, you're shopping for Doctor Who merch.
Okay.
All right, got that. So questions.
Or are we shoppers, or who's on whose side? I don't even know.
Right, Will, you're on the shop side with Alan and Paul.
Okay.
So if you find yourself in Paul's square, that means you become the shopkeeper.
Okay.
Okay. And likewise, if you find yourself in John's square, you're buying. Okay. Right. So comic book store, questions only. Take it away.
Would you happen to have a small 1965 model of a Dalek Rolly?
What colour?
What colours do you have?
What colour would you like?
Is that an issue of Doctor Who magazine from 1984?
Yeah.
Answer the
What does it look
question,
like?
man. Is it?
Is your ceiling falling in, Paul?
No, it's just the angle that my camera is.
Fair enough.
You
Fair enough.
Not a
see my bed
question.
otherwise.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah,
But even
yeah.
so, still quite funny. We'll sub you in for Will. So Will,
Yes.
you're now
Oh,
in
yeah.
the shop.
Oh, right.
I
Yes.
ask you, is that a copy of Doctor Who magazine from 1984?
Is that the one you want, the 1984 copy? Is that the one you're looking for?
Is it the one with Tom Baker on the cover?
The Tom Baker one? Let me think about that. I'm not sure. Is it?
Well, have a look, man. Have a look.
Oh, you want me to actually have a look, do you?
It's
That
a
was an
statement.
That was an
we will-
imperative rather than interrogative.
John, we're going to swap you for Mike. Mike, you're now buying.
Do you
Can I
perhaps
help you?
do you want to speak?
Well, would you like to speak first? Are you the customer wanting something from me?
Am I curious? Well, I am, and yes, I would.
Did I ask you if you were curious? I thought I asked you if you were the customer, did I not?
Do you have any of the size 7 plastic bags?
What are those?
Don't you know about the plastic bags to preserve comic books? Don't you have the number 7 size? The ones with the pleated edges?
Do they still do the pleated edges? I'm trying to ask myself if did they go out in 1993?
Are you sticking my head in the toilet and telling me you're teaching me how to swim? Of course they are.
I'm trying to come to terms with this because I've got a few problems of remembering how to ask you, the customer, what you'd like. What is it you want?
Interesting, Will, but not a question. So we'll sub you in for Alan.
Can I just apologise for the dreadful impertinence of my colleagues, sir?
You know you don't need to apologize. I'm a nerd asshole. Everybody hates me.
I'll allow that.
And what was it you were looking for, Mr. Nerd Asshole, sir?
Do you have the number 7 size plastic bags double bound with the creased top?
American or EU size 7, sir?
Well, aren't you the expert in international comics, aren't you?
Am I, sir? If that was so, would I be reduced to accepting a pittance for standing in a damp basement talking to people like you?
Isn't it apparent that you have no life and you're subjugating your drug habit by running this shop?
Have you been following me?
Do you know the ounce you gave me is light, motherfucker?
And to which ombudsman does Sir intend to complain?
With that, we'll get one last bit with Mitch. Mitch, you're now buying.
Could you see your way clear to giving me all your money?
Is that a gun in your pocket, or should I be scared?
Are you scared?
Isn't everybody?
Who can possibly define what scared is?
Is that not the human condition?
Who understands the human condition after all?
Would Sir like some scissors to cut eye holes in Sir's balaclava?
Do you have any scissors?
Would it not be a terribly remiss of me to offer you them if I had none?
Have you honestly never offered somebody something you didn't have?
You mean other than a good time?
And scene.
What is your idea of a good time?
And scene.
I forgot. He's good at this, Al. He's good at this. He's so good, I think Tony punched him once.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
More than once, Mike.
Tony has touched all of us in
Yes.
one way or another. Yeah. I've got to say, between Mitch and Alan at the end, I'm just thinking if they ever did a bank robbery in Downton Abbey, that's how it would have looked. Would you give me all of your money? Fantastic. So that is almost the end, gentlemen. Which has been awesome. So thank you to all of you for popping in. Will, apologies for giving you the link 5 minutes after we came on air. It's been one hell of a day, but we got it
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's fine. That's fine. That is cool. So before we wrap up, we'll come around everybody and just say if you've got anything to plug, even if it is just your social media. So we'll start at the top. Mitch, you first.
Yeah, my science fiction trilogy of novels is finally complete after an extraordinarily long delay. If you go to mitchben.com, there are details of how you can get the Terror trilogy, Terror's World and Terror's War. Terror and Terror's World are already out. Terror's War comes out in March. If you go to mitchben.com/Terror Trilogy, well, there you go. Those are the old editions. There are new editions now. But yes, then please come to mitchben.com and find out how you can get hold of those.
Thank you, Mitch. Mike, you next.
Not a lot going on right now. We're locked down in LA. There's not a lot going on. But if you ever want to reach me, guys, on Twitter, it's at this Mike McShane. And you can ask me questions or anything like that, or, just keep in contact. And what I'd just like to add is please donate. It's getting right to the end now. Please donate to Mind and keep donating. In fact, I may come up with something on Twitter. I may announce it. So if you want to come and I'll do a cameo, I'll do a free thing for your video if you donate.
Fantastic.
So,
Thanks very much,
Mike.
The QR code is just covering part of John up, so everyone point to it. Everyone point to the QR code. If you scan that with your phone, it will take you straight through, and you can enter whatever amount that you can donate. Doesn't matter how small, all gratefully received. John, excellent pointing work. We'll come to you next for what have you got to plug.
When all this nonsense started, obviously a lot of comics lost their work. I started drawing a comic called Distance, which I've done one page at a time, and I kickstarted it, and it got off the ground. And it's basically the life of a stand-up comic, one day at a time. It's being reviewed. It's very positive. So look for John Cooper and look for Distance, and you will find my comic about getting by and staying positive in life during lockdown. Thank you.
Fantastic. Alan.
QR code. Please donate to Mine. Thank you so much to everybody who's already donated, and thank you so much to all of the people here who have contributed, who've come on and performed, or who've worked tech in the background, or both. It's been hugely gratifying to see how many of you have been willing to help Mind out, and We've got a prize draw still to go at the end, but that'll be after this is finished. So please stick with us. And this is the one whose idea it all was.
Look busy. The boss is
Thank you,
here.
everyone.
Hello, Erica.
Hello, Erica. Hi, Erica.
Hi, buddy.
Sorry, Will.
What are you doing with your arms around that man? Yeah.
Blame. Yeah.
A man plays Boris Johnson for 2 years, and all of a sudden, people want his bastard kids. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Look, listen. Let's not. Right. Fantastic.
It's only a few words.
Big thank you to everyone.
Get him in, man.
Excellent. Paul Griggs, anything to plug, sir?
I didn't even expect to be here. I was just early for the next bit, but
and I still wrote you in.
Anybody at all is vaguely interested in what I'm watching, reading, drinking. When we do finally get back to maybe doing a bit of podcasting and stuff, then that's the place to find me, basically.
Excellent. And Will, if you let us know what you have to plug, but in your Boris Johnson voice, please.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I mean, actually, what we're trying to do is we got a show. It's a ghost story. There's going to be 2 of us. Fantastic effects by someone that did the Harry Potter thing, and it's called after. I can't remember what it's called. When Darkness Falls. It was all sorts of shenanigans, and it's a ghost story at the Park Theatre in London. Once this fucking COVID's over, it's not like it's full.
We'll be there.
Blames me.
That was like watching Prime Minister's questions. It was amazing, fantastic. Very, very coherent. Well, I believe that the final prize show will be coming up pretty soon. So I don't know whether or not. So gents, feel free to stick around if you want to be there for the last prize draw. So I think we can just carry on and do it if that's all right.
I'm gonna go.
Let's do it.
Go.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mitch.
Go.
If you've got a duck out, then no problem at all. But thank you very much, Mike. Thank you so much for
guys. Thank you
for coming on today.
I needed some British madness. It was great. Thank you, guys.
We're happy to oblige.
The kind we have.
Hope
Thanks,
to see
Mike.
you over here when all this is over.
Well,
so
I'm just
thank you
going
very much indeed.
back to sleep now. So.
Oh, night, Will.
Right, well,
Night.
Thank you very much, Will. Take
Cheers,
care.
guys.
Take care. Bye,
Sleep
Will.
tight.
Bye, Will. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. He's gone. John, have you gone, John, or is that just audio only? Oh no, he's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's sticking around.
Oh, he's gone.
He's
flickering.
back again. Welcome back.
Have we got Paul
Welcome back,
Carmichael? Here
Paul
comes Paul.
Carmichael.
Hey.
Hey.
John, excellent.
Audio only.
Oh no, he's back.
He's sticking around.
Anyone else hearing that?
Paul Carmichael, here comes Paul. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Something's looping terribly. It's either that or it's time for my medication. It stopped.
There we go.
The voices have stopped.
It's just...
Good.
Can I just
Good.
say a massive thank you to Alex? He has been working on this non-stop for a whole week. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. He's been on every panel since 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute star.
If you didn't see him, it's because he was tacking it, but he
Yeah,
was there all along.
He's been there all day. This could not have happened without him. So, Alex, thank you, sir.
Big vote of thanks for
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
And anyone out there wants to hire him, please do, because he's absolutely fantastic at what he does, whatever that is.
Oh, good. It's a mystery to you too.
Yes, it's too technical for us.
Right, prize draw.
We're doing this.
The prize draw.
Yeah, I need me list of dudes though, so we need to go down. We need to grab my laptop for this because we need the list of donors.
Okay, well we'll just
Phil.
Phil.
We'll Phil.
Frantically, Phil.
You plug your stuff.
I'm doing this to dig.
He's going. You can do it.
Very anarchist all of a sudden, isn't it?
It is.
I'm not sure Alan's got the better ass though.
Well, I don't know. Awkward Question Time is back in its regular non-Doctor Who related slot tomorrow night. at 8:30. Find me on YouTube. I've reached the stage now where I can get my own URL. So it's youtube.com/Alex Lane. Subscribe to me on that. So that's the main thing I want to plug, is grow the YouTube channel, because I want to get paid. It's not about the art. I want money. I'm honest. Yeah,
fair enough. We all need a bit of that.
Yeah. So, Paul, the flashbacks that you were getting, was that towards that last game that we had? Because I've just noticed your comment.
Oh, that was purely a little flashback to Katie Manning not turning up when.
That was
just that wonderful moment.
Will's rather excellent impression.
Half an hour of dread, but we got there.
It was eerily quite accurate, I thought, for saying that he said he didn't know Katie that well.
Yeah.
Mark Prescott is gushing with praise for everybody, saying well done, guys, excellent, and well done, Erica. And Liz Brown, thank you, Liz. Thank you. I've never drank so much coffee as I have this week. There's no word of a lie. I've got it down to, like, I've started mixing blends now. Like they say that they've been mixing the vaccines to see if that has a better effect. I've been doing the same with Aldi's espresso blend and Colombian, just to see if it'll keep me going.
You sure you haven't been cutting it with baby powder as well or something?
I'll try anything. I'm that tired. I will try anything.
I've been doing nothing like you've done, but I found this an awful lot more tiring than the live events, and a lot more sober. Normally I would. Last time, as I recall, I was just monologuing to Matthew Waterhouse and a curry house, which was exciting for him, I'm sure. But this has been the
start of a poem.
It was, wasn't it? It was quite good, that. But unlike the events in the curry house. But yes.
Jason Thompson actually quite liked that half hour of dread. Now, Jason, we've got a private chat amongst everyone that was involved with the festival, and we've debated that half hour at length since it happened. To the fact that we had an average viewing audience of 40, which, if that was an Edinburgh Festival show, we'd kill for 40 people. Absolutely. Alex Evans has just arrived, just at the point where it says cutting it with. We've been on since 9 this morning, Alex. Where have you been? This has been like Comic Relief, only a lot more entertaining. They blocked me on Twitter, Comic Relief.
Oh, why? What did you say?
I pointed out a badly worded tweet, and they blocked me. Yeah, it was just to rally everyone's spirits last March in lockdown. They had 7 hours of Matt Baker talking in front of the fucking television. So they said it was something along the lines of they said, grab your family, shotgun a place on the sofa. But the way it worded, it looked like, grab your family, shotgun. I went, yeah, a bit of punctuation there. They blocked me. It's like, fine.
The Oxford comma is very important, as many people can attest.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, as is not plagiarising other people's work to advance your own career, if you're listening to this, organiser of Comic Relief.
Well, I hear he heard something similar yesterday.
Really?
No, that's one of the things he's supposed to have plagiarised is yesterday, isn't it? That's sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's this great lighting, but you can't see the dark around my eyes. These things aren't sinking in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But we did think of adapting the Comic Relief format for this year, but then we discovered that for every mildly amusing sketch with David Williams about geraniums, it was very hard to source 50 diabetic orphans who needed all their limbs replaced in the Sudan. So we felt it was better just to go with what we knew, you know?
Neil Monroe agrees. He says this has been a lot funnier. So thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
You can come again.
Yeah, please do.
What they didn't see was our attempt at our own Curse of Fatal Death, which we've kind of put off for another time, haven't we?
Get on with it. Are we being heckled by Erica from downstairs now,
yes,
or upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what's the gist? What are we waiting for? Do we have the total?
We've got the final 2 prize draws.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 and a bit hours of show, we've had another 2 donations. Thank you very much to those 2 people. One of them, I have to say, was Rachel Brock, fulfilling her promise to donate again should Mike McShane blow her a kiss. So fair play to Rachel there.
Which Rachel, he did that off air. He didn't realise we hadn't started, so he blew.
Oh,
basically, he blew me a kiss. Thanks for the donation. I can tell you, it was lovely.
Was there time?
Rachel, your kiss can be collected from Alex at the Hollybush in Derby when the lockdown is lifted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
How's the total looking?
The total is currently looking like it is £379.41. No, I can't.
Amazing.
So we'll round that up to £400 before it goes to mine.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone who donated.
Yeah,
Amazing.
thank you very much. The links will be open, won't they, for a little while, at least on YouTube. So we'll hang on another couple of days just in case any latecomers decide they want to pledge a couple of quid. And there is, of course, still another show to go. There's You Can't Polish a Time Lord with Michael Legg coming up.
Yes.
But,
yes, and you can tell it's a pre-record because it's daylight behind me and I'm awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facing the right way and everything.
Yeah. I think I'm wearing the same T-shirt as well, which is weird. So it's suddenly get daylight behind us. Yeah.
Okay, time for the prize draw. We're being heckled to a stop here. So, who would like to choose a number between 1 and 26?
7.
7. That's Wanganum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is Elizabeth Brown, which I'm quite pleased about because Liz Brown's been coming many years and always supports us and always donates something.
Thanks,
to the
Liz.
cause. So,
There you go, Liz.
nice
Well
one,
done.
Liz. Thank you very much. She's in the chat apparently, but if drop us an email or we'll.
Liz Brown.
There we go. You have one. Yeah, you have one. The Chaos Pool. Peter Davison. Yeah, Erica is very bitter about this. She was hoping nobody would donate, so we could keep this. This is a full cast recording.
Trilogy.
Yes, yeah, Keith the Time Trilogy, and it's actually the good people at Big Finish have obviously paid attention to who we've had coming because this was directed by Lisa Bowen, and it's also got Will Barton in it. So
that one earlier, yeah.
Yeah, so that's excellent, and it's also got David Troughton and Lala Ward in it. So it's a nice cast there, and that will wing its way to you, Liz. Drop us a DM on Twitter or all our Facebook addresses and what have you. Just let us know your address. We'll stick it in the post for you.
Liz is still watching.
One last.
She's still watching.
If you're still watching.
Yeah, she
is. Excellent. Brilliant. And final draw, please, guys.
I shall pick. Can I have pie, please?
Pie? No,
yes.
You can't eat till after you're off the street.
Okay, if I 3.14159, then I'll just have 3, please.
Alex Evans said he wants the link for donations because he's going to chuck a few quid to it. If you scan the QR code that's on screen now, then that will give it. That will.
Yeah.
I can't. Words good. This is it. Donate via PayPal.me/who@Hoylake2021. I'll leave that up just for the rest of it. So, yeah.
Nice one. Or the QR code. Neither of those will pledge a set amount. They both take you to the PayPal page where you can choose however much you would like to donate. So you've gone with 3.
3. Please.
3, and that is a gentleman called Mike Teague. Mike Teague, and Mike has won. Oh, good. Mike has won The Light at the End, which is it's got an enormous cast. This one, it's got all.
It's one of the anniversary specials that Big Finish did. So it's got pretty much.
Yeah, it's got 4 dots.
Hold it up, your solo layout. Let's have a good look at it.
There we go. So it's got the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Doctor, Louise Jameson, Sarah Sutton, Nicola Bryant, Sophie Aldred, and India Fisher, Jeffrey Beavers as the Master, Carol Ann Ford, William Russell, Peter Purvis. The list goes on and on and on. That's a very exciting looking one, that one. So congratulations to Mike if he's watching, and if he isn't, we've got his details. We'll drop him an email. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for donating. Those of you who have, those of you who haven't, if you can spare just a little bit. I know time's tight for everybody, so don't worry if you can't. But if you could, that would be marvellous. Anybody else got anything else they want to say before we move over to the last show of the day?
No.
We said that without moving our lips. Brilliant.
Yeah. Everyone's too knackered to move their lips while talking about. Excellent.
Fantastic. So I think that's it. So we'll wrap it up. The link's be on screen, like they say. Thanks to everyone that donated, and thanks everyone watching for the improv. And go and watch You Can't Polish Your Time Lord.
Thank you so much, the three of you, for all your hard work. Much appreciated, guys. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Well done, Alan. Well done, Erica, as well. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Thank
to
you.
guys.
Thanks very
and
much.
To the audience, hopefully we'll see you in the real world at some point.
Yes.
Sooner rather than later, we hope. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Duggan.
Bye.